Ever find yourself with like a deadline just looming, but suddenly you have this like incredible urge to reorganize your sock drawer?
Oh, yeah.
That's that procrastination paradox that we're going to dive into today.
Yeah.
We're going way deeper than just surface level. We're going
Mhm.
deep into the brain.
Deep.
So our guide for this deep dive is a super fascinating talk by Tim Urban.
Oh, yeah. Tim Urban.
He's the creator of the blog, Wait, But Why?
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't just talk about procrastination.
Right.
He like brings it to life.
Yeah.
Using humor and examples that we can all relate to.
For sure.
So to get started, he compares brain scans of a non-procrastinator and himself,
Uh-huh.
a self-proclaimed master procrastinator.
Okay.
And it's interesting that both brains have a rational decision maker.
Right.
It's that part of us that wants to be productive.
Wants to get stuff done.
So what's different in the procrastinator's brain?
Well, in Tim's brain scan, you see an extra element.
Uh-oh.
The instant gratification monkey.
Okay, that paints a pretty vivid picture. Yeah. The instant gratification monkey.
Uh-huh.
So while my rational side knows I should be working on that presentation,
Yeah.
this monkey is pulling me towards, say, an online shopping spree.
Precisely. The monkey thrives on immediate pleasure.
Okay.
It's way more interested in, watching those cute animal videos than tackling, these big, challenging tasks.
And that's where things can get tricky.
Right.
Because sometimes giving in to the monkey leads to what Tim calls the dark playground.
The dark playground.
So the dark playground is that place.
It's that place we all end up.
Yeah.
After we give into procrastination,
okay.
You're doing things you enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
maybe scrolling through social media,
Yeah.
binge watching a show,
Right.
but it doesn't feel truly fulfilling.
Because there's that nagging feeling of guilt,
Well,
right? It's like you should be doing something else.
Exactly.
It's like the fun feels empty.
Yeah, you're not truly relaxing or enjoying yourself because you're aware
Yeah.
that you're avoiding something important.
This is starting to feel a little too familiar.
Uh-huh.
But there is hope, right?
There is hope.
Okay.
Tim introduces another character in this mental drama.
Okay.
The panic monster.
The panic monster.
This is the part of our brain that kicks in when a deadline is dangerously close.
So the panic monster is like our internal alarm clock going off when we've pushed things a little too far.
Exactly. The panic monster, it hates deadlines.
Okay.
It hates failing to meet them.
Yeah.
And the fear is so potent that it just scares the instant gratification monkey away.
Oh, wow.
And that lets your rational decision maker take control.
Okay, so that explains those late night bursts of productivity.
Oh, yeah.
Fueled by sheer adrenaline.
Right.
And that looming deadline. But wouldn't that suggest that procrastination is actually a good thing?
Not so fast.
Okay.
Tim highlights that there are actually two types of procrastination.
Okay.
Two types. So what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
The kind where the panic monster swoops in to save the day.
Yay.
That's deadline-driven procrastination.
Deadline-driven procrastination.
It gets things done, but at a cost.
Okay. So what's the other type?
It's what Tim calls long-term procrastination.
Okay.
This is where things get a bit more complex.
Ah.
Think about personal goals, relationships.
Okay.
That dream project, you've always wanted to start things without a hard deadline.
And that's where the problem lies, right?
Yeah.
Because without a deadline,
There's no panic monster.
there's no panic monster to kick things into gear.
Exactly. With long-term procrastination, that instant gratification monkey
Yeah.
has free reign.
Uh-oh.
It's constantly whispering in your ear, there's always tomorrow.
Right.
There's always tomorrow.
Well, yeah.
And you end up putting those important things off indefinitely.
I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling of being stuck
Yeah.
and letting those dreams and goals slip away because we just can't seem to get started.
It's tough.
It can be really disheartening.
It can. And this is where Tim introduces a really powerful tool
Okay.
for tackling long-term procrastination.
Okay, I'm listening.
The life calendar.
The life calendar.
Imagine a grid
Okay.
where each box represents 1 week of a 90-year life.
90 years.
When you look at your entire lifespan laid out like that,
Yeah.
it changes your perspective.
Like you suddenly see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You realize how finite our time really is.
Exactly. And when you see all those weeks, it makes you question how you're choosing to spend them.
Yeah.
The life calendar forces you to confront those long-term goals you've been putting off.
Okay.
And ask yourself, am I okay with letting these weeks slip away without taking action?
That's a really powerful way to frame it.
Yeah.
It's not just about productivity.
It's about making choices
Right.
that align with what truly matters to you.
This is deep.
It is. And that's what's so profound about the life calendar. It's not like a scheduling tool.
Right.
It's a tool for reflection, for prioritizing, for making sure that your actions are in line with your values.
So it's not about never procrastinating.
No.
It's about procrastinating strategically.
Precisely. We all have that instant gratification monkey in our brains.
Right.
But we can choose to be mindful of its influence.
So what does all this mean for you, our listener?
Yeah.
We've explored the inner workings of the procrastinator's brain.
We sure have.
We met the instant gratification monkey and the panic monster, and we discovered the power of visualizing our time with the life calendar. Knowing all this, what's one small step you can take today to move towards a goal you've been putting off?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a giant leap.
Right.
Even a small step forward is progress.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
We often get caught up in thinking we need to tackle everything at once.
Yeah.
But that can be so overwhelming.
It's like that saying, right?
Yeah.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once you take that first step,
yeah,
it becomes easier to keep moving forward.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
I think so too.
It's made me think about procrastination in a whole new light.
Yeah, and if you, our listener, want to explore this further, I highly recommend checking out Tim Urban's blog. Wait, but why?
Yeah.
His writing is so engaging, insightful, and often hilarious.
It's a great resource for anyone who wants to understand, the quirky ways our minds work.
Exactly.
So until next time.
Yes.
Keep learning.
Keep exploring.
Yeah.
You have more power over procrastination than you think.